Welcome back to the workshop.
Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to be putting together the perfect recipe for our supercar.
The perfect road-going Touge monster.
Hey, that's proof you can't roll a 2CV.
My name is Oliver, and this is my dad, Andrew. He's a wicked engineer and my next door neighbour. We've always wanted to build a car together. So when I found my dream car in nightmare condition, we decided to embrace it, seize the day and re-engineer the entire car from scratch.
Well, it's looking more and more like a car every single day.
And make your own gear knob kit. There you go.
A K20 A2 from a Honda.
Things don't always go to plan. But when they do, it's a thing of beauty. Building a car and making memories with my dad. One of one, this is Project Mosquito.
Okay.
Yeah, bring it in.
All right then.
You're all right. It's not going to slip. I got it. Ingredient 1, the chassis. It needs to be as stiff, lightweight and safe as possible. The chassis sets the personality of the car and every component that gets bolted to it. Ingredient number 2, engine. The highest power to weight possible and preferably normally aspirated, as this provides the optimal driving pleasure, mid-mounted for efficient weight distribution. Ingredient number 3, double wishbone suspension all round for optimum camber curves, suspended by long travel coilovers with a high caster angle for optimum steering feel. Rally-style inverted coilovers are lightweight, reduce unsprung mass, which increases grip and steering feel.
So rear suspension courtesy of Honda CR-V. It's not what you'd expect to see on a sports car.
But it does have the same suspension architecture as the EP3 Honda Civic Type R and the DC5 Integra Type R, otherwise known as the RSX in the States.
And we've also modified the bottom mount on the CR-V because it's used for towing caravans and things like that. They have a much bigger bolt through the bottom, a 14mm bolt, and we're using a 12mm. So that all the suspension bolts that we're using are exactly 12mm, all the same size. Ingredient number 4, brakes. Disc brakes all round.
We're using factory Mazda MX-5 Unos Roadster Miata discs and calipers. The reason we're doing this and not going to a big brake kit is that they're actually lighter than most big brake kits on the market, and they're a known quantity because MX-5s and Miatas have been going on track days for years with these brakes. They're actually the official brake of the spec MX-5 Cup. And so you can get a wide variety of pads which will function in a wide variety of temperatures. Because this car is over 300 kilos lighter than your average MX-5, the brakes won't get up to such high temperatures, and being a road car, they need to work from -14 to 45 Celsius in ambient air temperature. So they're small, they fit over our small wheels, they're lightweight, and we know from their reputation that they give excellent pedal feel. Our rear calipers, our brake calipers, are courtesy of the Mark 6, Mark 7 Honda Civic. If they'll stop a 1,200 kilo hatchback full of kids and shopping, they'll definitely stop a little 620 kilo Mosquito. And rather than vented discs, we've gone for blanks because we might as well save the weight.
Ingredient number 5, steering, a high ratio rack with no assistance for optimum steering feel. So we are replacing the original mini rag joint, which is basically a rubber mount between two mechanical parts, with a fully mechanical part, a universal joint, with absolutely no play in it whatsoever. So we're using a cam gears high ratio rack, a quick rack, used on classic Ferraris. And because we've got the extensions, this allows us to have far more lock than the standard mini rack that it's derived from. So we get far more lock.
Or even an MX-5. And it's faster.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't going to show you this, but in the spirit of the video, it's kind of too cool not to share. So this is the steering wheel for the Mosquito. It is a Raid KBA 70006. Raid, if you've never heard of them, are one of the classic Italian steering wheel manufacturers, a lot like Personal or Nardi. This exact wheel is the factory steering wheel for the Lamborghini Countach and was a huge favourite amongst Group 5 racing cars. You'll find this wheel on a lot of Porsche racing cars, or Porsche if you prefer, and you'll also find it on the Zack Speed Capri. It's a bit of a legend in its own right, and I'm really lucky to have been able to find one. We went for black because with the big glass area in the front of the car, we don't want any like reflections in my face. I was actually tempted to go for a wood wheel, but the regulations don't like wood wheels. And so we went for black, and we went for obviously a vintage leather wheel. And it is a very beautiful thing. And there's nothing more appropriate, I don't think, that you could fit to a Mosquito than a Raid steering wheel.
Ingredient number 6, wheels and tyres. As lightweight as possible, and also it's nice if they can be period correct.
It's a bit...
Stop. There's dust on the wheel.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Good wheel bearings, those. Oh, watch the throttle position sensor. Here you go. Right, we're over. Going down. Right. Pretty good, that. While the engine's been sat on the pallet, it must have been rocked at some point, and the engine installation wedge had had kind of moved out, and so the engine was at the wrong angle. So what we had to do is take the sills off, jack the car up from the back, because obviously the sills don't have their jacking points in yet, and jack the car up from the back corners, and let the chassis take the weight of the engine rather than the other way around, and it's perfect now. Oh, I'm stuck on an axle. There you go. There we go. Oh, it feels good to see it as a car again. It kind of looks badass in the Steelite. Weird, isn't it? The Steelite looks brighter when it was on the suspension components and the tubes, but when it's on panels, it looks a lot darker.
Yeah.
So what I mean about the rear wheels being a lot further rearward than they look when the chassis is just there. They're like almost at the back, because the wheel centre line runs through this shaft. So there is some of the engine, but not really. It's only cam cover that's behind the centre line of the back wheels. Everything's proper mid-engine.
Everything's forward. We've drilled our base plate, so basically the screws, these 3 screws that hold the shifter in, will be just screwed in from the bottom. So we can drop our base plate in. Bolt number 1.
Do some little flange nuts, can't we?
Mm-hmm. Bolts are a bit low as well.
Ingredient number 7, a manual gearbox. Paddle shift may be faster, but nothing gives better engagement than a gated manual shifter.
Number 8 on our recipe is seats. To become one with the car, you need to be sitting comfortably.
Number 9, an aerodynamic body with a small frontal area. So our Mosquito flies through the air like a fish swims through water. At least now we can see body lines. Because it's done 9 different colours. Our panel gaps are a little bit Tesla, but that's not so bad, that.
Very good guess.
Shall I go get the lights?
Yeah, go get them.
Do we need a table?
Yes.
Right, so you grab the table and I'll grab the lights. Right, the wheels were one heck of a find. The steering wheel was one heck of a find, but I don't think anything quite compares to this. Back in the 1960s, early 70s, when a make, be it Porsche, be it Ferrari, wanted to go racing at Le Mans with their prototype, they always chose lights that were easily available. And so they usually chose tractor rear lights. But the first GT40 actually had rear lights from a Simca 1000, which is quite funny to think that Ford put lights on their car from a Chrysler product. Right, but that's because they were easily available should they have an accident at Le Mans. So, in fact, I think the Stratos also had Simca rear lights, or very similar rear lights, right? But we didn't want to go with what Porsche went with, and we didn't want to go with what Ferrari went with, because I can get those really easily. We wanted something that was very special, and that wasn't a replica of anything, but existed in that same time. And in here, I have a set of Marshall Pentalux rear lights. Now, if you look on the rear of a Lancia Stratos, you will see a rear light that looks a lot like that. Yeah. Oh. New old stock boxes from the 1960s. I had to send a guy a check who I'd never met on the other side of France so that he could dig these out of his loft. And he actually didn't find the ones that he'd advertised, he found the ones that I wanted, which was even better. But yeah, these are, thank you Dad,
Oh, brand new.
are brand new, new old stock
Almost 60-year-old lights.
Marshall lights. Marshall, the official lights of the Bozazoku.
Yep, as you can tell by the little cat.
Yep. Quite possibly the coolest logo in all of car anything. What does that look like? You'll have to tell me, because I can't see from there. But I think it'll look wicked. We've not looked, we've not checked, we've not seen nothing. But as far as I know, these are entirely period correct for the late 60s, early 70s, which of course is when we got things like the Stratos, we got the Miura, like we got all the crazy mid-engine cool stuff, including the first GTMs. And as far as I know, these lights have never been on any car ever, as far as like racing cars. And so I think they'll be spot on. They're very similar to what was on the prototype Stratos, which was, I think there was a white one, wasn't there?
Yeah.
There was two. There was, I think, an orange one and a white one. I can't remember.
Yeah. And the lights are they're a good size.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've got the arches on either side, which will widen the car.
Yeah, being a flamboyant, curvy car, okay, our tracking isn't exactly spot on, but like we'll have big flamboyant arches on it, and so you'll be able to, you need that flamboyance, you need that like extra-ness. But we didn't want to go for anything with chrome rings, we didn't want to go 1960s. We wanted to very much nail that very early 1970s vibe. And I think this does it absolutely perfectly, which is why they were an absolute nightmare to get hold of in perfect condition. And internally,
they are literally brand new.
They are brand new, nearly 50-year-old lights.
Yeah.
Internally, we'll go for all LEDs, and of course, they've got a built-in number plate light. I think originally they would have hung kind of like that maybe on a tractor or a caravan, because they are trailer lights, but they should be, like, they are road legal and they are E-marked and everything, which to find road legal E-marked rear lights that no one's ever used.
Yeah, that are 50 years old.
That are 50 years old, that are
still in the box.
period correct, really took some doing. This is like the culmination of months of work. Okay, so first up we have the indicators. Now these are, I think, the early mini glass indicators. Marshall made something very similar, but this is what originally was fitted to the car. So it's one of the few original parts that we have, which would be nice to retain. And the backs of them have seen better days, but we can make those nice. And then, because I can get them, I'd quite like to fit some Marshall iode 40s, because let's face it, they are the best looking fog light ever made. And those were original French ones, not modern ones. Right, enough teasing, shall I just show them? These headlights are as rare as hen's teeth, and I couldn't quite believe it when I found them, but they are Sieb bi-iodes. These are the headlights that were fitted to, not this exact headlight, but these are the same headlights that were fitted to the Porsche 911 ST hippie car that won the Tour de France road race. They are incredibly sought after. I think in period they were a little bit of an acquired taste, but because of everything that was achieved while these were fitted to cars, because these are so good, yeah, they're worth an absolute fortune. In fact, I found somebody trying to sell a set for $7,000 in the States. I didn't pay that. I'm not saying how much I paid, but I didn't pay that. And I'm just incredibly thankful to actually be able to get them. These are not 7-inch headlights like you would have fitted to a Mini or a Morris Minor or anything else. These are 190mm metric headlights. The reason I wanted 190mm headlights is because, well, if GTM had had more money and had more time and made a better thing that could have raced at Le Mans and been a contender, they would have needed to be able to see at speed. And we need to move our headlights. And a 190mm headlight has the back of the parabola higher up than a 7-inch headlight, although these do stick out quite a long way. It's a lot higher up, and so because of that we should have more tyre clearance in theory. Although I'll be honest, I saw these and bought them because when you get offered gold dust, you don't you don't look a gift horse in the mouth, do you? Obviously, we need to move the headlight pods as well. The car is a little bit high at the minute. It's about 2 inches high.
It's about 2 inches total,
50 mil. I've never wanted to see what something looks like more, because I haven't seen them in the car yet. Oh, it looks so good. Mosquito looks so happy. These are not these aren't where the headlights are going to live. But for now, I'm so happy we've got to take them off in a bit, because I don't want to. Obviously, the front clamshell's not attached and all that, but that looks so good. Oh, I'm over the moon. Not a lot of cars used 190mm headlights. A lot of Le Mans cars did. Everything in the 1960s and 1970s did. The hippie Porsche Le Mans car,
why is it the hippie?
They call it the hippie because it's purple and green, like psychedelic.
All right.
It's the one that used to be in the intro for this channel, has these lights on. Alpine A110 1600 World Rally cars had 190mm headlights. In fact, some have bi-diodes on, very rare. In fact, the car that won the Tour de France, the hippie red and yellow 911, they actually take these headlights off when they do rallies. So you'll see in some photos it has bi-diodes on. Any photos of it rallying, it's got like replicas. I'm so happy. Yeah, Citroen DS had 190s as well. So yeah, they were designed to be the best headlights like money could buy. And obviously they've got 2 bulbs in them as well. So we can run a super bright like LED or whatever in the back and old-fashioned new old stock yellow lights in the front. And on top of that, now currently I don't have another iode 80, but I do have an old lens, and there'll be something like that. Oh, like that, yeah, like that. So something like that, which is all correct. It'll all be legal heights, it'll all be legal everything.
Yeah, but it's all period correct to the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, and obviously, because we went for aero, we're putting headlight covers on, because you can't do it not put headlight covers on, and we'll also put boxes into here, and so we can put these in the bodywork, in a box, and then put a lens over the top, so that these will be protected as well. Because there's absolutely no point having $7,000 headlights and not protecting them from stone chips. So yeah. Right, I'm terribly sorry. I'm going to have to put this fog light down and I'm going to have to stare at my car for 20 minutes.
Yeah, in fact, these are bigger than a normal headlight with the ring. Mm-hmm. You know, if you made the light as big as the outside ring, these are even bigger.
Yeah, if you put a big ring on a 7-inch headlight, they're about the same size as these are without rings. These headlights like this, these are the things that people just don't know exist. Even people like European car people aren't really like, Dad, you didn't know, did you?
No, not 190s.
But your Renault 12 had diodes.
Yeah, but they're a rectangular light.
Yeah. So the rectangular version of this.
Well, these oversized ones look superb.
Yeah, they're massive. they're absolutely huge. Like, everything about this car is about being good on a road. You know, the reason for this video being the way that it is, it was actually your idea, this video.
And it may sound strange to put it in ingredients terms, but it's what you need to make a great road car.
Yeah. Because ingredients on their own don't make the final dish, and when you all put all the elements together, and this is it, we wanted to see it all together, because we've got we've got legendary Porsche headlights, we've got a steering rack that was made by the same company who made Ferrari steering racks in the 1960s and 1970s. We've got the steering wheel from a Lamborghini Countach. We're like.
Seats from a Lotus.
Seats from a Lotus Elise. We've got a gated shifter with a 6-speed manual gearbox. Honda makes some of the best shifting gearboxes on the planet, and we've managed to make it better.
So we've managed
with a gated shifter.
So our ingredients for our recipe are the best of the best.
Best of everything that we can get hold of. You know, Gotti wheels. Gotti wheels were fitted to the first car ever to win the World Rally Championship, as were SEEP headlights. In fact, it might have had a set of SEEP diodes on it because it was an Alpine A110.
Yep.
The thing that I wanted to make was the world's best GTM. And we're not there yet, but we are well on our way.
And in fact, it's not a GTM anymore. In essence, it is.
Look, if they can call that Huna Pegasus thing that they made for Ken Block for Pikes Peak, and it's technically a 912, if they can call that a 911, even though it's a 912 and it's mid-engine, right, this is still a GTM. But it is the Pickard GTM Mosquito.
Yep.
Because when I asked Howard Heary years ago, when we first started this, I asked Howard, who was the original racing driver who drove the original aluminium GTM, what he would have done if he had more time and more money and he wanted to achieve more. And he said, I would have built a tube chassis GTM. He said, we tried to build one and it was too heavy. So this is, in essence, in spirit, it is a GTM.
Yeah.
But it's the best of new and the best of old. Which, if you're going to do a resto mod, that's the way to do it. And no spider eye, stupid LED headlights, because I hate them.
I think the setup we've got now looks absolutely superb. I mean, the headlights look massive.
Yeah.
We should actually have a standard headlight to compare.
Yeah, but we don't have any.
Have one. And obviously they're going to be moved further out, and the whole thing's going to be so cohesive and so like late 60s, early 70s, just nailed it.
Yeah.
Because you can't really modernise a car, really.
No, not really.
Not this shape,
No.
but you can kind of backdate it and put it back into.
Well, the thing is that the shape didn't change.
No.
The mouth changed slightly over the years.
Yeah, and the wheels got bigger.
Yeah, but if you were going to Le Mans, you'd want a flat nose. You'd want an aerodynamic shape. And so I'm happy with that. And we're going to change various things. We've made the mouth a little bit like the original mouth. So yeah, I'm over the moon. But
these things are superb. I know why now the guy in America wanted $7,000 for them.
Yeah.
Because they look $7,000 worth, you know.
But you're happy with it, yeah?
Yeah, it's turned out really, really well.
Because obviously we are sharing this car. Technically it's my car, yeah, but we are sharing this car.
I'm going to drive the absolute tyres off this thing.
I hope you do. That's the point. My dream, my entire life has been to build beautiful things with my dad, and to build this. Honestly, I'm a bit emotional right now, which is silly because it's nowhere near finished, Oliver. But I love it.
That's it. It's gone from a picture in your head to it literally sitting in the garage.
Yeah. So if you've enjoyed this video, then make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Make sure that you click like. Make sure you tell YouTube how much you love this little car, and I hope you love it as much as me. I know you won't, because I don't think that's possible. But
tell us what you think about the giant headlights. Do you think it suits the car?
Yeah.
Leave us a comment.
Tell us what you think about white. It's not staying white. White's not the final colour, but I'm really, really glad that I've been able to see it in white.
Yeah, because we really wanted to see the car. The reason we've painted it is we just wanted to see it.
See the body lines.
The body lines in just one complete colour.
And being that it's Honda powered, it had to be white at least once, didn't it? Out of respect for Honda, if nothing else. But I'm over the moon. So make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Make sure that you click like. A massive thank you to all our supporters on Patreon, and a huge thank you as well to everybody who likes and comments and subscribes and shares these videos on forums and all that. You're all amazing. Without all of you, we could not do this. Without all of you, we would not be here. We would not be making these videos. You are our community, and your fingerprints are on this car as well. You know, we wouldn't have the dimple dye
which was actually a godsend today, because we would have really struggled to get the shifter in.
Yeah.
Without putting that dimple dye in.
Yeah. We wouldn't have the dimple dye in the shifter. These videos would not be weekly. We wouldn't have a Patreon. Like, you're amazing. And so I thank you, all of you. And if you want to join our Patreon, then there's multiple tiers. We've made sure it's affordable for everybody. You can get spoilers and stuff. And in fact, everyone on Patreon knows that this is coming. They've seen it first. And so if you want to see all of our goings on before anyone else, make sure that you are part of our Patreon family. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Please be awesome to each other.
And we'll see you all in the next video.
Bye-bye.